Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Pasco, and this is Yoga Fitness Fusion 2. This practice is estimated to be about a level 1.5 to level 2, easy to go on either end with modifications. In this practice, we fuse yoga using movements from yoga practices, breathing, mindful, slow pace with fitness elements such as using weights and doing repetitions. The practice moves very slow, very mindful to give you a deep strength. In this kind of a practice, light weights feel like heavy weights. So I do encourage you to use some weights if you like. You, of course, can do it without any, and maybe that's how you want to do it the first time at least. And then if you do use weights, I do recommend, if you have it, to get 2 different levels of weights, because some poses are better for lighter weights and some for heavier weights. Still somewhere around the range of 1 to 10. There is nothing in this practice that you would need more than 10-pound weights for. It's part of the mindfulness and the pace that we go in this. So I do recommend you grab your weights. If you have a strap, grab a strap or anything that's strap-like. We do overhead leg stretches at the end for a really delicious release after this is completed. So grab your stuff, roll out your yoga mat, and we shall begin. So we're going to start in the standing posture, mountain pose. Take a moment to feel your feet press into the floor through the 4 corners. Base of big toe, base of pinky, inner and outer edge of the heel, root down. Then everything on the inside lifts up nice and tall, right out through the top of the head. And then soften the muscles. Relax the jaw and the shoulders and feel everything sink back into that foundation. And when you're ready, let's take a deep inhale, sweeping our arms up. Stretching nice and tall, and as you come up onto your toes. Stretch all the way through that whole body. And exhale, lower and release. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, sweeping up, stretching up, coming up onto the toes, stretching the feet and the ankles, and exhale, lower and release. 1 more. Big inhale. Stretch up, reach up, lift up, and exhale, lower and release. This time, take an inhale, sweep up, maybe a little arch back. And with your exhale, swan dive forward into a forward fold. Pausing here for a moment, relaxing the head and neck, maybe shake the head, yes. Shake it, no. A little shake for the shoulders. And then when you're ready, come to a halfway lift, stretching and lengthening the spine right out through the top of the head. Exhale, soften back to that forward fold. And with a big inhale, sweep up, stretch up. Exhale, release. And again, inhale, sweep up, reach up. A little back bend if you like, stretching right up through the top of the head. Exhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Pause here for a moment. This time, bending the knees, just shifting the hips side to side as you bend the knees, giving a little extra stretch. Taking that nice and slow so you can feel the change in the stretch in the muscles as you do this gentle movement. And then pausing, inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, soften back in. Big inhale, sweep up, stretch up, and exhale, release. 1 more time like that. Big inhale. Stretch up, reach up, a little back bend if you like. Exhale, swan dive into that forward fold. This time as you inhale, come to a halfway lift with a flat back. So hands can rest on the legs, maybe on the thighs. And then bend your right knee in and sweep your left hand up, following that hand with your eyes. Press down through that left foot, base of big toe, base of pinky, as you twist, feeling that stretch move to the outside of the leg. And then release back center. Take a centering, lengthening spine stretch, and then bend the left knee. Sweep the right hand up, follow that hand with your eyes. Pressing down through that right leg to get the stretch onto the outside, the IT band. And then unwind back center. Inhale your halfway lift. Exhale, soften back in. Big inhale, sweep up, stretch up. And exhale, release. We'll continue with our warm-up, adding on. When you're ready with an inhale, stretch up, reach up. With your exhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Taking a moment here, take a pause, and then walk yourself into a downward facing dog. Giving yourself a moment here to settle in, lifting up through the tailbone, lowering through the heels, maybe pedaling the heels. Again, any gentle movements that helps your body warm up and get every muscle fiber firing is beneficial here. And then when you're ready, you're going to come forward to plank. This is one of my favorite moves, not so much of my students often. We're going to lower in 3 parts. You're going to lower 1/3 of the way down, elbows go back, heart comes forward, 2/3, 3/3, which puts you in chaturanga, and then inhale into an up dog, and exhale back to down dog. Again, taking a moment here in down dog. This time extend your right leg straight up. Lift up through that leg, press lengthening from wrist to heel. And lower that leg back down. Switch sides, left leg comes up. Stretching, and lower that foot back down. And then again, come forward to plank. You can always drop to your knees here. Shoulders are back and down, lower in 3 parts. 1/3 of the way down, 2/3, draw your belly in, 3/3, and inhale an up dog, and exhale a down dog. Pausing again here, a little bit more for the legs. Stretch your right leg up. This time bend the knee, let your heel drop towards your hip. And then release that leg down. Same for left leg. Bend the knee. And then release that leg back down. One more time, 3-part lower. Come forward to plank. Lower 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, up dog, down dog, and pause. Then from here, you're going to stretch your right leg up, 3-legged dog, and you're going to step that foot forward and rise into a warrior 1. So that foot comes forward, plant it down, plant your left heel down, sweep up, stretch up, warrior 1. In warrior 1, we want the back edge of that, the outer edge of that back foot down. Hips are pointed forward. Hips are level as best you can. We're just taking a moment here to let this pose do its job. Stretching, strengthening, aligning. And then ease into a warrior 2, pivoting that back heel open, arms parallel to the floor, and the head turns to look out past the middle finger on the front hand. Knees drawn open, tailbone tucks. I'll never knock you stuff. I want everybody to hear the alignment because it does improve the benefits of the posture. Level hips as best you can. One more breath here. And then we're headed into a warrior 3. So you're going to pivot forward, shift your weight onto your front foot. I'm going to make sure I have enough room here, and stretch into a warrior 3, reaching fingers to toes. Here's another one of my favorite moves. Hands come down to the floor. Lifting up through the back leg, we're going to take 3 jiva squats. Spine is slightly lengthened and lifted. Bend that front knee, drop the back leg back. Lift up, stretch, bend. Lift up, stretch, bend. One more. And it gets even more fun. Step your left foot down, hands to the floor, right leg goes back, staying in a plank. Bring that right knee forward, 3 knees to nose. 1, 2, 3. Leg goes back, down dog, and let's flow out. Plank, lower down, up dog, down dog. Feet to your hands. Pause in a forward fold. And when you're ready to rise, inhale, sweep up, stretch up, and release. This is about as maximum cardiovascular as this practice gets. We're going to repeat that on the second side, and that will conclude the warm-up. So shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight. Inhale, sweep up, stretch up. Exhale, swan dive. Walk it back to a down dog. Come forward to plank. Lower down. Up dog. Down dog. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. And step the left leg forward, rising into a warrior one. Sweeping up, rooting down, muscles hug the bones. Everything moves up, building strength, grounding. Warrior one's a great stabilizing pose. Taking a moment to feel what you're doing while you're doing it. And then ease into that warrior two. Hips open, knee tracks right out over that big toe. Arms are lengthened, opening the shoulders. So much of the warm-up is really to get every muscle fiber firing. So creating space so that circulation can start to go. From here, it's warrior three. So we're gonna pivot forward, shifting onto that front foot, lifting and lengthening into a warrior three. Stretching, and then hands come down. Lifting up the back leg, spine's nice and long. Bend that front knee, Jiva squats, three. There's one. Here's two. And three. Leg comes up, plant that foot down. Send the left leg back to a plank with a lifted leg. Three, knees to nose. One, two, and three. Back to down dog. Flowing through, come forward plank. Lower down. Up dog. Down dog. Step your feet to your hands. And when you're ready, sweep up, stretch up. And release to mountain pose. And that concludes our warm-up. We're going to start with our first exercise, which if you did the first Yoga Fitness Fusion, a couple of these exercises are repeated. And then, of course, there's some new and different things that we're doing as well so that you have some variety. We're going to start with the overhead press for shoulders, and we're going to do it with a crescent lunge. I do recommend if you chose different level weights, get the lighter ones for this. It is absolutely up to your body, and of course, you will learn what is best for your body. I like these with lighters because shoulders fatigue pretty quick. So we're going to step the right foot forward and the left leg back, setting up a high crescent lunge. So the knees right above the ankle. Weights come up to the shoulders. When you're ready, we're going to press up, straightening that front leg, and then bending that knee, letting the weights lower down. Shoulders are back and down, belly slightly drawn in for support of the spine. As we bend and straighten, that knee tries to track right out over that middle toe. First toe, middle toe. We just don't want it to dip in. Keep going. We're going for 10. If you keep doing these practices with me, you know I struggle because I talk so much that I lose count. I think that's 6. Here's 7. And we're trying for 3 seconds in each direction. So 3 seconds lifting, 3 seconds lowering. That's going to help you stay in good alignment. I believe we have one more. And then you're going to bring the weights down, step back to the top of the mat. You can lower your weights down. I'll put in here because I'm going to switch sides. And we're going to flow. We keep it moving so the energy doesn't pool into one part of the body. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Now you can modify this flow as much as you like. You can omit it. Walk back to down dog. You can take it with plank. You can drop to your knees for tabletop. Lower down. Up dog. This is all the ways you can make it a 1.5 or a level 2. Step your feet back to your hands. Rise. And release. Same for the other side. So if you want to change, we're doing overhead press again. If you want to change weights going up or down, it's a great time to do that. Shoulders back and down. We're going to lead with left leg. So right leg steps back, setting up a high crescent lunge. This time weights come to your shoulders, but elbows point slightly forward. Shoulders back and down, press up. Nice and slow. We're trying for 3 seconds in each direction. The front leg is doing most of the work of the lower body. The back leg is kind of along for the ride. Nice and slow. I believe this is 5. Sorry. 6. Doesn't matter if we do one more or not. Muscles can't count. They don't know. You have to respond to how they feel. If you feel fatigue, stop. Great stopping place. If you don't, keep going. 2 more. 1 more. And then step to the top of the mat. We're going to lower those weights down, and we're going to flow through. I'll do a modified flow this time. Inhale, you can keep a plank if you like. Step back to down dog. Drop to tabletop. Lower down. Cobra. Release it. Tabletop to down dog. And walk your feet back to your hands. And then when you're ready, sweep up, stretch up, and release. And we'll continue on. The next one is the lateral raise with a warrior 2 pose. So these 2, and then there's one other one that were in the first video, and everything else is different. But these are gold standard exercises using yoga and fitness moves. So we're going to start again with the right leg leading. This time we're stepping back into a warrior 2. So back leg steps back, front knees right out over that front foot, back foot's open, hips are nice and level, tailbone slightly tucked, palms face one another, and when you're ready, straighten that front leg and sweep the arms up. Bend and release. Again, trying for that 3 seconds lifting, 3 seconds lowering, coordinating that with your breath for smooth, mindful movement. It gives you that chance to feel what's happening while you're doing it so you can respond accordingly. There's no right or wrong way to do things. Your body's always going to give you the feedback that you need. And yes, I'm talking a lot, but I still think this is 6. 7. And in both directions too, we're working different muscles, different muscle fibers. I believe this is 9. 1 more. Good. And then we're going to take it to the top. You can lower your weights. You don't have to do this flow through if it doesn't serve your body. Maybe just do any gentle movement. If you feel like the intensity is going up too much, swan dive. Walk it back to down dog. I personally love the flow through. I think it feels amazing. Lower down. Up dog, stretching that spine. Down dog, lengthening the spine. And step back to the top of the mat. Sweep up, stretch up, and release. We're going over to the other side. So from here, you're going to step back with the right leg, setting up a warrior 2. Front knees tracked right over that front foot, tailbones tucked, hips are level, palms face one another, straighten that front leg and sweep the arms up. Spine is nice and long from tailbone through the top of the head. The movement really lifts right through the back of the wrists, just floating the arms up. To use the shoulder muscles, keeping the shoulder blades soft so we're not squished up by our ears, activating neck. That would not feel good, especially with repetitions. So shoulder blades still just melt down your back. I believe that's 5, 6. Press through that front foot. Feel the 4 corners. 8. 9. And 10. Oh, feels wonderful. It's a lovely strength. Step to the top of the mat, lower your weights down, and we'll flow through. Sweeping up, stretching up, swan dive. Walking back to down dog. I'll again take the low flow this time. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, belly down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release it. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale back to downward facing dog. But this time, we're going to drop the knees to the floor, lower down onto the hips, bring the legs forward, and we're going to do what I refer to as a core break. So stretching up nice and tall, shoulders are soft and down. We're going to tip back into boat pose. This way we give our upper body a rest. We have 2 more upper body exercises to do, and we get to do a little core work while we're resting our upper body. So tip back. I love efficiency. And then just release your arms, and you can extend your legs forward. You can straighten them as much as you want, but lift up through that spine, 5 breaths. Let's say this is 3, 4, and 1 more. These are never easy, no matter how many I do. And then feet come down, and we're going to take a seated child's pose. So basically child's pose, just in a seated posture. We're trying to soften the belly, allow it to rest and recover, relax the back muscles, and just take a nice deep breath here. And then we're going to go into the second version. We have 3 versions of this. This is another classic that tends to go through all the Fitness Fusion videos. It's just a really nice sequence in between upper body work. And then tip back, shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight. Feet come up, release the arms. Bring the hands together in front of you with thumbs pointed up. We're going to twist. Twist one side, back center, other side. 4 more. 3. Keeping that nice tall spine. 2. And 1. And then feet come down, and again, taking that seated child's pose. And we're going to stay here and do 1 more round of this. Shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight, setting up that boat again. And here, release your arms, and we're going to lower the right leg down. Bring it back. Left leg. Bring it back. 4 more. Trying to keep stretched up through the spine. 3 more. 2 more. A little shaky. I am. 1 more. That's how you know it's working. And then, relaxing here, fold the legs into Sukhasana, sitting up nice and tall, walk yourself forward. This is going to be a nice way to release hips and low back if they started to tense up at all in that exercise. Again, this whole Fitness Fusion is meant to be a nice, smooth balance. You're getting the strength. You will feel it, no doubt, but we also want to take care of our body so you can do this forever, no injuries or setbacks. Walk your hands to one side, opposite hand on top. Back center. Over to the other side, opposite hand on top for a breath. Back center. Bring yourself up. We have to switch sides for balance. Walking yourself forward. Taking a moment, take a breath here. And then hands go over to one side for a breath, giving that extra stretch to the low back, top of the hip. Back center. And to the other side. And back center. And bringing yourself up. I'm going to remove my cat. I will be right back. This is yogi. Okay, we're going to flow out of this now. Come over into tabletop. Inhale, cow. And exhale into downward facing dog. Take a moment, take a little stretch. And then walk your feet to your hands. Sweep up, stretch up. And release into mountain pose. Okay, so the next exercise that we're going to do is we're going to hold a chair pose while we work our tricep muscles. So this is one where I recommend if you have the heavier weights, go ahead and get them. The arms can take a little bit more weight in this. It's the legs that are going to fatigue first. So if you have the heavier weights, feel free to grab those now or stay with what you have. Shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight. We're going to sit back into a chair pose. So Knees are still over the feet somewhere. Feet are pointed forward. Tailbone sits back. We want to hinge at the hips enough that we can work against gravity. Lock the arms up against your back and kick back. Tricep kick back. We're going to do 10. So hips are continuing to be sent back. You can feel the four corners of the feet. Nice and slow in each direction. And then just pause at that full extension so the muscle fibers can really feel it. Here's 5, I believe. Belly's drawn in to support the spine. Nice and slow. 7. Shoulders are down the spine. Spine's nice and long. 2 more. 9. And 10. And then slowly rise out of that. We're going to lower the weights down. We're going to flow again, especially when we're holding poses. We want to make sure we keep that circulation moving so there's no pooling. That's going to let you have a faster recovery, but also continue to build strength just without any disruption to your process. So inhale, sweep up. Exhale, swan dive. And again, you can omit this. I would take gentle movements if you're not doing this particular move. Down dog to plank, lower, up dog, downward facing dog. Walk your feet back to your hands. And when you're ready, sweep up, stretch up. And we're going to repeat. So same thing. Shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight. 2 sets of these. Sitting the hips back. Belly's drawn in, shoulders are locked down. Just for variety, I'll go this way. Hinging at the hips so you can work against gravity. If you're straight up and down, they're not going to get much gravity here. So then start. Kick back. Slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's 3. 4. And again, just lingering for a moment at that edge right there. 6. Shoulders are down the spine. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Yes, the legs feel it, building that strength. So that concludes, put the weights down. Does not conclude. You have one more exercise with those. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, swan dive. Walk it back to down dog. Come forward to plank or tabletop. Lower down. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet back to your hands. Sweep up, stretch up. And release. One more exercise with the standing and with the upper body weights. And we're going to do the bicep curl with the yoga squat. It's a wonderful, beautiful pairing. So I like to use this one a lot. So we're going to step nice and wide. You're going to turn your toes slightly out. Shoulders are back and down. Tailbones pointed towards the floor. Palms face forward. We're going to bend the knees as we curl the arms up. And straighten and straighten. So the knees, again, aiming right out over the toes. We just don't want the knees to collapse in. That'll put strain on that joint. We want the tailbone to go straight down to the floor. Be mindful not to overly arch your back. Just a nice neutral spine. I see a lot of times people exaggerate that. No need. Draw your ab muscles in just slightly for support. Because the only thing that's supporting that is that skinny little spine. Everything else is soft tissue. So we have to firm it up a little bit for support. Not a clue. I'm going to go 5. Nice and slow as you lift and lower. This is how you get so much out of these exercises without injury. Mindful movement. Here's 8. Here's 9. And 10. And we're going to put the weights down. We're going to float through that. We got 2 more of those. And then we are done with that part. Walk it back to down dog. Come forward to plank. Lower down. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands. Sweep up, stretch up. And release to mountain pose. One more. Repeating with a minor variation. So again, you always, since we're doing the second set, you can always adjust the weights going up or down if that serves your body. Take a giant step wide. Toes turn slightly out. The modification this time is just turn your hands out a little bit. Shoulders still soft and down. Bend the knees, curl the arms, and lower. Just a little bit different angle on the bicep muscle. And then this is an angle we often use, carrying grocery bags, all kinds of stuff. A lot of this is functional fitness. Moves that we naturally do with our body. So we're conditioning a healthy response and healthy way of doing that for muscle memory. So then we prevent injury in our regular lives. Slow. You can drop that tailbone as low as you like. I wouldn't go much below the knees, if at all below the knees, but you can go down parallel. I think this is 7, 8, 2 more, 9, nice and slow, take your time, and 10. Good. And then you can put your weights down and you can put them out of the way because we won't be using those again. Okay, let's take our final flow here. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, swan dive. Take a moment, relax in that forward fold. Last time we'll do a standing forward fold. If your back feels a little tight here, your legs, just give yourself a breath to soften them and release. And then walk it back to down dog. Come forward to plank. Lower down. Up dog. Downward facing dog, and then drop to tabletop. Okay, so this is why I often call this one more of a level 2. We're going to do 3 sets of forearm planks. Forearm planks are extremely challenging, but also are really good for joint stability, so they're worth working through. Of course, you can do them on your knees if you like. You can take them for a shorter amount of time, whatever serves your body. But we're going to start with a basic forearm plank. So you're going to lower down onto your forearms. I'm always on the side of my hands. You can put your hands flush. I just like to make little fists, maybe because I'm mad how hard this is. Okay. Extend back into your forearm plank. Shoulders are back and down. Space across the chest. We're holding it for 5 breaths. Belly's drawn in. We're stretching from the top of the head back through the heels. So the whole body is engaged. 2 more. Deep breaths. And then after your 5th breath, you're going to lower down onto the floor and take crocodile pose, which is probably the best part of this little sequence here. So feet go a little bit wide, toes turn out, hips soften, belly softens. I have a microphone on, so I can't rest my head down, but you can rest your head down onto your arms if you like, putting your head down. And just take a moment and feel the whole body from head to toe release. We have 2 more sets with 2 more variations here. So we want to give ourselves a chance to relax in this space. 1 more breath here. And then we're going to make our way back to tabletop to set up the second variation. From tabletop, set up the forearms. Extend into that forearm plank. Shoulders are back and down, and we're going to toe tap. Tap the left foot and the right foot. 4 more sets. 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to crocodile. Let's stay here for one more breath. And then we shall set up our third variation. So making your way back into tabletop, lowering onto the forearms, extending out into the forearm plank, checking alignment, and we're going to lift the right heel and the left. 4 more sets. Right heel and left. 3. Just a little lift. 2. And 1. Oh, and then lovely crocodile. Taking a moment there. Things like forearm plank and locust pose, which we're going to do next, are some of those exercises that are just really important for overall health and fitness of the body. And just to review, the reason we do yoga poses in the whole yoga practice is to remove tension, tightness, illness, and weakness from the body. Those are distractions to peace. They just are. If you don't feel good, if you feel weak, if you feel injured, those are distractions. So these are always exercises that we do to remove those distractions so you could just feel good, mind and body. So next is locust. And to do that, we're going to do 2 variations of that in repetition. So we're going to start with upper body solely. So bring your feet together. Arms move along the sides. Hip bones anchor down and legs kind of press into the floor, tops of the feet press into the floor. Fingers reach for the feet, long spine, shoulders back, and we're going to lift slowly 5 times, just the upper body. Hips stay down. Lift. It's not much of a movement. And lower. 4 more. Lift, engage everything through the back of the head, and lower. Lift, and lower. We don't go all the way down and release all the tension. 2 more. Lift, but we activate everything on the lift. Lower. 1 more. And release. And again, you can go back to the crocodile arms. You can keep the feet in this position if you like, because the next one is just the lower body. So upper body, rest down. And then if you can, put your forehead down on your hands like that. When I do that, it gets really loud in the microphone. So bring your feet together. Upper body stays relaxed again. And then we're just going to lift the lower body. So stretch out through the toes and lift. You can still feel your hip bones press down. Lift. We're engaging this low back hip area of our body, which is ideal. It's still part of the core. We often think core in front of the body. It's the back, the sides, it's everything to support all those organs that are trying to float in there in a specific way with just that skinny little spine for hard stability support. So we want to firm up all these muscles. I think that's 5, but we're doing 1 more. Okay. And then relax. And we're going to take it to tabletop. We have a couple stretches, so we can move right into that. We'll first do thread the needle. So scoop the left arm underneath the right, lower onto the side of the head. Taking a breath there. And then unwinding back center. 1 cow and cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Flat back, scoop the right arm through, resting the head down. And then back to the flat back. 1 cow and cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Sit back on the heels into child's pose with arms stretched out. And then walk your hands over to one side. Opposite hand goes on top. Take a deep breath and let that whole side body stretch from the hips to the shoulders. And then back center. And over to the other side, opposite hand on top. Deep breath. And then walk yourself back center. And bring your body up. We're headed down onto our back now for the final section of the strength and then into the final stretches. So this is where I do recommend, if you have a strap or the strap is the easiest prop because you can use pretty much anything that's strap-like. Go ahead and grab that. We're going to do the overhead leg stretches, and it just is much easier and more efficient to do them when you have something to support that. And then we're going to go ahead and roll down onto our backs with that somewhere in reaching distance. Give yourself a moment once you lay down to get comfortable into that position. Maybe a little rock side to side. Let the hips settle down. Let the spine settle down. Nice deep breath. And to even add a little bit more energy to the fact that we're in this position now, even though we've got a couple core strengthening exercises left, take a full center stretch, arms up, legs long, and then as you relax, release the arms down. The next exercise we're going to do is crisscross crunch. So to do that, you're going to bring your legs up to a right angle. You're going to bring your hands behind your head, and you're going to crunch over your right elbow to your left knee. So you can draw that left knee in. You can straighten the right leg out and back center and other side. And we're going to do 20. Cross. There's 2 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice and slow, getting a good lift so you at least clear your shoulder blades. 9, 10, this is halfway. 11, 12. If you want more intensity, slow it down even more, straighten your leg or lower your leg even more. 13. And here's your last one. And then relax down on your back. Bring your knees in, maybe a little rolling the low back into the floor, both directions. And then here comes our last set. So it's going of strength. It's going to be cannonball bridge. I love this exercise. I think it's fantastic. And we add just a little bit more to it for the fitness fusion element of it. So lower your feet down. We're going to set up for bridge. So feet are hip distance apart, feeling the 4 corners of the feet. Cannonball bridge. We start with our arms up overhead, stretching. This is our inhale position. So take an inhale here. And as you exhale, come up to cannonball, tucking your chin, lifting, trying to clear the shoulder blades, and then lower back down, inhaling, exhale into bridge, lifting up, pressing through the feet, and lower. This is your inhale, cannonball. We're doing 5 sets. And bridge. There's 2. Cannonball. Clear those shoulder blades, get that tension. And bridge. 2 more sets of these. Cannonball. And bridge. 1 more. I love these. Cannonball. And then this time on the bridge, we're going to hold the bridge. So wiggle your shoulders underneath you, interlock your fingers if that's in your range, but press down through the back of the arms, stretch the back of the head long, chins tucked towards the chest. And from here, we're going to extend the left leg straight out for 3 breaths. So left leg goes out, press through that heel, lift up through those hips. You can feel that extra strength and stability moving into that base leg. And then lower that leg down. Pause for a breath here, even bridge, equal bridge, both feet. And then right leg stretches straight out. Root down through that left foot, lift up through the hips. 3 breaths. It's hard to talk during this, it's really challenging. 1 more. And then both feet go down, 3 breaths. Lift up the hips, draw the pelvic floor in, press down through the back of the arms. 1 more. And then release and lower down. Take a moment here to just feel that. Bringing the knees in, any little gentle movement here. And we're going to begin our overhead leg stretches to release everything in the lower body. So keep your right knee in, extend your left leg out. Now that leg can go flat, that knee can stay bent and foot on the floor. And if you feel any tension in your low back, With that leg stretch, bend the knee and it'll soften those muscles. Finding that strap, place the strap on the foot and extend the heel up to the ceiling. Get a good grip on your strap so you can relax. Heel goes up, you can point and flex. You can take little circles around the ankle, both directions, drawing that foot back, releasing the hamstrings, and then using the strap, draw the leg out to the side. Pressing through the heel. Here we want the pelvis level, so left side of the hips stay down. If that side's popping up, then place your hand on it, encouraging it to stay down, backing out of the stretch a little bit to also help. And then bring that leg back up, switch hands. Guide that leg across your body. Right leg can reach out for a right arm can reach out for a counterbalance. Press through the heel, feeling that release through the whole side. Now here your hips do roll, your shoulders stay roughly flat to the floor. And you can feel that stretch just everywhere. And then to exit this, bend the knee, roll back center, and release the foot. Let's take a centering stretch. Arms up, legs long, give a good squeeze, and release. And then left knee comes in. Hug that knee in. Make sure the hips are nice and relaxed onto the floor. Strap to the foot. Extend that heel up. Drawing that leg back, pressing to the heel. Movement at the ankle, point and flex. Anything that feels good. And then strap into the left hand. Left leg goes out to the side. Pressing out through the heel, feeling that release. Hips stay nice and level. This is essentially a triangle pose just on your back. So you'll feel the same muscle release. I love doing these leg stretches because it is basically the triangle sequence. It's triangle, pyramid, and revolve triangle, upside down. And then you don't have to worry about balance or anything. You can just feel the release. And then switching to the other side. This is always such a good one. IT bands just tend to be very tight. And then bend the knee, roll back center. Set the strap off to the side. Inhale, a center stretch. Exhale, release your arms down, bend your knees in. We're going into figure four. We're going to release the hips. So cross the right leg over, let that knee drop open and bring your knees towards your chest, hugging them in. Gently press your tailbone to the floor for a little deeper stretch. One more breath here. Draw the knees in a little more if you like. And then lower the left foot down. Cross the right knee a bit tighter. Scoot your hips just a little bit to the right. Arms go into the T position and knees cross over your body to the left. And then head looks to the right for reclining bound twist. Take a deep breath, giving your nervous system, all the muscles along your spine, a good squeeze, a good wring out. And then roll back center. Realign the hips and feet, come down. Take a centering stretch here. And then release, bending the knees in. Cross the left leg over. Knees move towards your chest. Hug the knees in. Tailbone gently presses to the floor for a little more release. I think these ending stretches is also one of the reasons that you will feel what we did today, but not in any kind of disruptive way. It's so healthy to do this kind of a practice that has this blend of fitness and release and fitness and release. Lower the right leg down, cross the left leg a little tighter, scoot your hips a little bit to left, arms into the T position and knees drop to the right. And then if you like, head can turn to the left for that full spinal twist. And then roll back center, realign the hips, feet come down, take a centering stretch, and then a full release, giving yourself at least a moment to check in from head to toe, softening, noticing how you feel for that mind-body integration. Feel free to stay here as long as you like, but this is where we shall end. Thank you for watching my Yoga Fitness Fusion 2 practice. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you check out some of the other videos, and I do really appreciate you watching. Thank you.